Welcome to Babu Moshai. As you can see, this makes me really nostalgic. Presidency college days, school, absolute perfect setting. Only we've all sort of passed those years 25, 30 years back. But age is just a number, as they say in sport. What a distinguished panel for this particular Adda. And again, civil debate, important issues, no skirting tough questions, but being very respectful to each other, as is the tradition and pattern for Babu Moshai. On my right, distinguished cricketer, played for India, one of the greats we have produced from our state, Sharadindu Mukherjee. Bapada, welcome. On my left, Abantika Mukherjee, dental surgeon, one of the city's best. I will ask her, there was so much tension. Shall we go to a dental surgeon? Is it a problem since COVID? Jayantoda, we have all grown up reading Jayanto Ghoshal's articles about politics. Jayantoda will obviously answer straight and give us a sense about the political pulse. Madam Shaha, Shobita Shaha, director of the Aditya Group of Schools. She is in a position where she had to take very tough calls. We've done multiple programs over the last 1 year. What is the future of education in our city and in our state? And finally, Gautam Bhimani, a very dear friend of mine, someone who I've worked with for 15 years or so, one of the country's most talented sports broadcasters, and of course, has worked in the country and internationally. And finally, Praveen, if you listen to radio in our city, in the mornings, he's an addiction, a bad addiction. You can't leave him. One of the most talented jockeys in the country. Tell me, Praveen, tell me, I mean, in your shows, every morning we listen to you. Is it a challenge for you to represent relevant political issues? Are you scared if you speak out, somebody can come and beat you up? Is there creative freedom? Are you challenged as well?
I'll tell you what, I think if there is a scare in my mind that, if I speak about certain issues, people will come and, beat me left, right and center, I think that's not the case. In a creative field, you have the creative liberty. So when it comes to radio, we definitely have our own set of lines which we cannot cross, but yet cover each and every aspect. As people say that, pen is mightier than sword, I say that, your words are way, way, way more powerful. You just need to put right words at the right place.
Gautam, if I can come to you, he just said creative words, he's not scared. I am. I mean, when I speak out these days, what we tweet, what we talk about, I don't feel very assured of myself. And not only here, across the country. Is our democracy challenged?
Well, given the whole scenario, you'd have to say yes. You'd have to say yes. To what extent is what we are starting to discover. And I think growing up in Bengal and going away from time to time and coming back, you discover that things can change a little bit. I mean, when I first left Bengal, there was only one color, it was red. And it was okay, it didn't matter. There was only one team playing, essentially. The second time I left, again, there was only one team playing. I won't necessarily mention colors. Now, it almost seems like you're not happy if somebody else is coming to challenge your turf. And hence, there can be a bit of opposition. I'll give a quick example. Growing up, it was all about watching football on the Maidan. And it was Mohun Bagan and East Bengal. So I would go one day and watch a Mohun Bagan match, next week an East Bengal match, and everyone would ask me, who do you support? I'm like, I've just gone to watch sport. You almost had to take a side. And you had to be careful. Because if all was well until they were winning, but if you were at a game with 10 minutes to go and Shonali Shibir won, East Bengal 0, you'd be told, please leave right now and get home quickly. So you don't necessarily always like opposition, but it's good to have opposition as long as you said, it doesn't challenge democracy. We are fast getting there.
Madam Shaha, in one of my shows, I was speaking to Shonali Sarkar and I asked her how challenging it was to get school back. You and I have done many physical digital sessions. Is it the same? Is online teaching, Zoom, multiple digital platforms, you people embraced it. So 2 levels. How challenging was it for you at this age, to sort of all of a sudden get to online teaching? How challenging was that?
It was really very challenging for us, and but thanks to our group and especially to our chairman and vice chairman, they supported us so much, and we all teachers and authorities, took up many sessions in groups, and we learned from our younger teachers, and they trained us that how to go for this online session, whether it is Zoom, whether it is Google Meet, and thankfully we did it so wonderful. But the best thing is, in this pandemic, we learned to be more and more positive.
Dr. Mukherjee, we were told so many times, especially to go to a dental surgeon, don't go. If you want to delay an operation, do. Have you been working? Have you been scared? You are part of the front line. Give me a sense.
Thank you, Boria. Yes, I have been. I have been working from May onwards, 25th of May to be precise. And I had taken time off from work for 2 months because we didn't really know how to go about treating patients or how to control the COVID situation. And it was scary to say the least, because we as dental surgeons, we are actually going inside the mouth and treating patients, whereas everybody's maintaining social distance. So I'm virtually working in the residence of Corona and actually trying to keep myself safe, my family safe, the society safe, and also my staff safe. And this much I can say, I have been seeing a lot of patients. You can safely go to a dentist where protocols are being followed, because it is all about understanding the cross-infection control and how to go about it.
This whole thing about vaccination, I see from our country, 50 to 60% healthcare workers are vaccinated now. The rest haven't. Why is it that this hesitancy is still there?
I think first and foremost, I think it's a huge population that we have. And because as a healthcare worker, we have been given preferences, and I think because we come in close contact with so many people in comparison to the others who really don't. So
should vaccination be done? I mean,
yes,
everyone should take
absolutely. And I believe children also going to school, not schools maybe, but 18 above, colleges, universities, they also need to be vaccinated.
The straight question for Jayanta Ghoshal. You have been a front-rank political analyst for close to 30 years. Have you seen a more vulgar, more violent, more dirty election than this? Both parties, 3 parties, 4 parties, look at the language. Somebody calls Natok Baj Didi, somebody calls Prime Minister Robindranath Sajte Cheshta Korche Bhondo. If this is the language of political discourse, it is quite frustrating and disgusting.
Unfortunately, yes. For the last 35 years, although I am a non-resident Bong based in Delhi, but with special reference to West Bengal politics, I am covering this, the electoral politics since 1984 when Mamata Banerjee defeated Somnath Chatterjee. And today, unfortunately, I think it's a superlative degree of the dirty elections. And why? I'm trying to search the reason behind it. And somehow, irrespective of the party line, as you said, I think somehow it's a metamorphosis, political metamorphosis of the Bengali DNA, the Babu Moshai's DNA. Because it's a Renaissance city. We are proud of 19th century's Lord Macaulay's heritage and the inheritance. But unfortunately, this tutu, ma'am, and the dirty words, I think there is a hidden violence in it.
Bapada, I will take a question before I go to my first break. Bapada, 2 questions actually. One, would you have been pleased if Saurabh came into politics? You know this fellow very well. You have played with him. The Ranji Trophy you all won in 1989-90. So Saurabh coming into politics, number 1. And number 2, since your era, why is it that we are not getting national players from Bengal? Bengal is still, after Bombay, after Delhi, after Karnataka, we've not won a Ranji Trophy since that time. Why? What is this stagnation in our sport for?
Yes, Sourav Ganguly, I would have loved him to come to politics and probably lead from the front, because we have seen him do that time and again. In 99, the thing erupted about match fixing and betting. From there, he made that Team India. He brought players from different states. He had to be a match winner. And from then on, we looked at the eye of the Australians, the English and the South Africans, and we beat them at the home turf. He is a wonderful organizer, administrator, and most of all, he knows how to lead. to bring back this Bengal scenario, which Mr. Ghoshal was saying, that that tutu mai thing, that would have stopped. And your second question, why aren't players coming to from Bengal, really? The players came really, Ridhiman Saha, Dinda, Manoj Tiwari. But after that, it stopped. We needed a thrust, needed a boost, needed a talent hunt, where we need to find out, we have to give more preference to the districts, from where we have to have the talent pool coming in, have a residential camp throughout the year, and coach them, nurture them, not only cricket, but their food, education, and everything. I think we'll have a team.
I will go into my break on this note, that the Kolkata Knight Riders do not have a single Bengali player. They have a good team, but they do not have a Bengali player. And I'm not going to blame them. The blame is on us. We have not been able to produce talent. We've produced cricketers in the past. We've produced doctors. We've produced political analysts. We've got good school teachers. We've got great radio and cultural personalities and broadcasters, but unfortunately not sport. Why? We don't know. On that note, I'll go into my break. But after the break, it is very important to try and understand, is business going to thrive in this part of the world? Are people going to have opportunities, jobs, employment? I will get Anirban Aditya, one of the youngest entrepreneurs of this city, on my show to ask that question, and along with my panel, plenty more. Babu Moshai has to have his food. As you can see, I'm a particularly, Bengali Bhadralok needs his food. So very quick break where I have my chai and my biscuit. Back after this short break on Babu Moshai. Back after the break, as I said, I will have Anirban on my show. Anirban, you are one of the youngest entrepreneurs of this city. You do real estate, you do education, you do food. Give me a sense. People say Bengal equal to no industry, Bengal equal to no jobs, Bengal equal to a dismal economic scenario. Your sense?
See, the problem is when we talk about industries, we always think industries are about manufacturing industry. Like if I take an example of Shingur, I don't think in Bengal industries like that will come. But IT is an industry. We create a lot of jobs for all over India and outside India. So the talent is huge that we have in Bengal. So I feel a lot of IT industries will come in Bengal, which will come.
Jayantudha, direct question for you, microphone to now. Direct question for you. Is this election Trinamool versus BJP, or is it Mamata Banerjee versus Narendra Modi? Personalities or parties?
Narendra Modi versus Mamata.
That's the election.
That's the election. Because once upon a time, Mamata Banerjee was the successful political entrepreneur of the discontent of Bengal. But today, the anti-incumbency after 10 years is very strong, but the Mamata Banerjee has a larger-than-life image still it persists. So to counter Mamata Banerjee, because the opposition space now BJP has taken over. This leftist and Congress, although they are trying to survive, but I call them Jurassic Park's dinosaur now. But this Modi has a pan-Indian national popularity. And the West Bengal, BJP doesn't have the organizational capability and the state face as a chief ministerial candidate like Yogi Adityanath or Shivraj Singh Chauhan. There is no face. So now Modi ji is the face. But I don't know how BJP can translate into vote in West Bengal. That's a different story. But this is, you are 100% correct. This is Modi versus, and that's why cover story's photo is Modi and Mamata, not Dilip Ghosh or Mamata.
Okay. Praveen, you are as much Bengali as any of us. Have you ever felt when you do it, because you have such a mass following at this young age, have you ever felt anyone say you're outsider?
Not at all. If I talk about my social media following as an example, out of 7 million Facebook followers which I have, more than 3.5 million are from West Bengal. And after working for a radio station for 16 years, I've got multiple offers to work in India or maybe outside India as well. But I've continued to be a part of Kolkata radio station only because I love the city, I love the people. So I think I'm way more connected with the city.
A similar question, I mean, Kishorda, to you, hearing both of you is almost part of our DNA. At the same time, you and I, we work mostly in the English language medium. does that make us any less connected if we don't speak in Bengali on a day-to-day basis? How is that even if you work in Bombay, are you becoming an outsider?
I think of all states in India, if there's one state that adopts a so-called outsider and makes them an insider, it's Bengal. Because you'd hear a Gujarati, and I'm half Gujarati myself, or half Kutchi, the Marwari community, the business community, many of them speak as good Bengali as Bengalis do. I mean, you remember Jagmohan Dalmia. Joguda would be beautiful in Bangla.
And with the dhuti.
And with the dhuti. You would not know. He'd be a Babu Moshai just like you.
Better Babu Moshai. Joguda's family, if you go to Pathuriya Ghata, as Gautam said, it's a 300-year-old Durga Pujo. I used to go every year, and Joguda in a dhuti Punjabi would be classic, yes.
So I think that is the beauty of Bengal is everyone is the son of the soil. If you do speak Bangla, great. If you don't, it doesn't matter.
Coming to you, Avantika Di, this election is also about women. Are women only a vote bank, Didi, equal to women votes? Women's safety, violence. Give me a sense of being a woman of power, a woman in a position who has a voice. What is your sense?
My say would be, Boria, is that women's safety definitely is an issue. So women's safety is something any political power who come into should make sure it's there, because there's a whole lot of hooliganism or different kind of antisocial activities going on. And today, if you want to go and say, hello, please don't do this, you're like a son to me or a daughter, or you're a student, they just speak back so badly and in such a tone that you feel a bit scared, and you take a step back and say, no,
this is
maybe
a fantastic
right.
answer. Anirban, I'll come to you on that. You do Kali Pujo, you do all of this. You're a very social person, but what she just said, during a procession, and by the way, Durga Pujo Bhashan, Saraswati Pujo is all politicized now. If you see the rhetoric, that is what it is. For example, in a Bhashan, if you burst crackers, and if you have patients at home, if you go and tell them, they'll beat you up. Is this what we have reduced ourselves to? Or, is this our Bengaliness coming to the fore?
See, again, what Gautam was saying, we are a very open-minded people. We don't follow any particular caste. Like whoever comes and we just welcome them. That is how we are, and that is how we have seen Bengal. What is happening right now is there is nobody to say something to you.
So my time is up. Before I go to Praveen and finish off with a sense of positivity, let me say this. In summing up, civil society and the educated middle class is actually facing a challenge of existence. So let's have a pluralistic debate where real issues are tabled, but we also have a voice. And the challenge for Babu Moshai has been, this, to give each of my guests a voice that will be heard. They will not impose it on you. That will be decided by you, the viewer, just like we, the voter, will decide which party to vote for. May the best person win. Praveen, let's finish off with this one.
So, if I have to describe current state of mind for the people of Bengal, with your due permission, I would like to sing a Bengali song, just one line of it. And the song is, Amake amar moto thakte dao, ami nijeke nijer moto guchiye niyechi. আমাকে আমার মতো থাকতে দাও আমি নিজেকে নিজের মতো গুছিয়ে নিয়েছি যেটা ছিল না সেটা না পাওয়াই থাক সব পেলে নষ্ট জীবন সব कुछ नहीं चाहिए
Absolutely. On that note, to finish off, as I said, we have allowed each other to speak. We have had a respectful discussion of critical political issues. But please, we also have a voice. And that's our plea at Babu Moshai. Thank you very much for watching.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.